Hello, dear students. My name is Pankaj, and welcome to my channel Advanced Maths with Pankaj Sansamar. So, this is part one of trigonometry for JEE Mains. Today, we will have an introduction to trigonometry where we will learn different trigonometric ratios, value of the trigonometric ratios at specific angles, and then we will learn about the unit circle, and at the end, we will learn fundamental identities involving trigonometric ratios. So, we will take this topic from basic to advanced. So let us start the basic introduction. So first question is, what is application of trigonometry in our real life? So in ancient time, it was used for astronomy and used to find distance between stars, radius of the earth and all. So yes, we also use trigonometry for finding height of the hills, buildings and trees, and finding angle of inclination and declination, navigation purposes, airplanes and ships, and then for the in defense as well. So this trigonometry word is derived from the Greek word tri, which means three, and metron, which means measure. So measuring three sides of triangle, and the triangle is right-angled triangle. So trigonometry is the study of relationship between the sides and angles of a triangle. Trigonometry is a study of relationship between the sides and angles of a triangle, and more specifically, a right-angle triangle. Now, first is that angle whenever it is measured in anti-clockwise direction is always from the positive x-axis is always positive. So this is positive 60 degree, right? And an angle which is measured in clockwise direction from the positive x-axis is always taken as negative. So this angle is minus 60 degree. So negative or positive measure of the angle depends upon the direction in which it is measured. So for counterclockwise it is positive, and for clockwise it is negative. Now, degree measure. A circle can be divided into 360 degrees, 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, 270 and 360. And another one is radian measure. So 180 degrees known as is called pi radians. So 180 degree is pi radians. So by using this fact we can say 90 degrees pi by 2. So if 180 degree is pi radians, then 90 degree is pi by 2. Similarly, 270 degree 3 pi by 2, and 360 degrees is 2 pi. Now, most important, whenever you have to make conversions from degrees to radians or radians to degree, right? So radian measure generally has pi. See, we use degree symbol for this is degree symbol, and radian symbol is C. Now if I have to convert x degrees into radians, I will simply multiply it by pi and divide it by 180 degree. This is radians. And if I have to convert x radians into degrees, so I will simply multiply it by 180 degree and divide it by pi. So this is degrees. Let us understand this with an example. So if I have to convert 2 pi by 3 into degrees, so I will simply multiply it by 180 and divide it by how much? Pi. Pi cancel. So basically it is 3 6 18, 60, 120. So 2 pi by 3 is 120 degree. Also, there are basic or specific angles that you need to remember in both degrees and radians as well. They are 30 degree. 30 degree is pi by 6. Second, 60 degree, it is pi by 3. 90 degree, it is pi by 2. 45 degree, it is pi by 4. So these are basic angles that you need to memorize, right? So here it is 30 degree. So 30 pi by 6, 3 6. So there is a direct relation in between 3 and 6. If it is 60 degree, if you ask me what is relation between 60 and pi by 3, so 60 degree pi by 3, 90 degree pi by 2, and 45 degree it is 4 and pi by 4. So you can memorize these. By using these angles also we can fast convert radians to degrees. So pi by 6 we know, pi by 6, if pi by 6 is 30 degree, so 5 pi by 6 will be 5 into 30, which is 150. Now pi by 6 is 30 degree only. 5 pi by 3 is 60 degree. 60 into 5 is 300. Now 210. 210 can be written as 7 into 30. 30 is pi by 6. So answer is 7 pi by 6. 135 can be written as 45 into 3. 3 into 45. So this is 45 is pi by 4. Answer is 3 pi by 4. 60 degree is pi by 3 and 225 is 5 pi by 4, because 225 can be written as 5 into 45. Therefore 5 pi by 4. Now trigonometric ratios. There are six trigonometric ratios in overall. 6 TRs. We also call it TRs, which are sine, cos, tan, sec, cosecant, cot. So this is a right angle triangle. Side opposite to the 90 degree or right angle is always known as hypotenuse. Side opposite to theta is known as opposite, or we also call it as perpendicular. Side adjacent, close to theta is known as adjacent, or we also call it as base. So this is adjacent, or we can also call it as base. This is opposite or perpendicular. And the side opposite to theta, or the longest side of the right angle triangle, is hypotenuse. Now this is a right angle triangle, and it is shown that it is used to measure height of trees, height of tower and all. First trigonometric ratio, sine function. Sine function is ratio. It is ratio of the perpendicular blue line mn upon hypotenuse, which is mc. So sine theta is, if it is theta, so sine theta is mn upon mc. Similarly, sine c is ab upon ac, pq upon pc. Cos theta, which is base adjacent upon hypo, can be written as cos of c or cos of theta if it is theta, and theta. So adjacent upon hypotenuse. So this is nc upon hypo, mc, bc upon ac, and cq upon pq. Tangent function. This is a ratio between the opposite side and the adjacent. Opposite and adjacent. So here tan theta will be mn upon cn, ab upon bc, and pq upon cq. Now reciprocal functions. The other trigonometric ratios, cosec theta, sec theta, and cot theta, these ratios are reciprocals of the ratios sin theta, cos theta, and tan theta. So cosec theta is 1 upon sin theta, sec theta is 1 upon cos theta, and cot theta is 1 upon tan theta. There are 4 quadrants, first, second, and this is second quadrant, this is third quadrant, this is fourth quadrant. Now trigonometric ratios are called as circular functions because their values repeat after a fixed interval of time, and all their values can be represented on the unit circle. All their values can be represented on the unit circle. Unit circle is a circle of radius 1. So all their values can be represented on circle of radius 1. So it is, therefore these ratios are known as circular functions, sine, cos, and tan. Now trigonometric ratios of some specific angles. These standard values you have to remember of trigonometric ratios. For example, values of, if you have to remember, sine 30, sine and cos 30 and 60. So sine 30 and cos 60 are equal, and which is equal to half. Now sine and cos again 60, 30. So sine 60 and cos 30 are also equal, which is root 3 by 2. Tan 30 and tan 60. 30 and 60. See, this is value of tan for 30 and 60 is either root 3 or 1 by root 3. So tan 30 is 1 by root 3 and tan 60 is root 3. As 30 degree is less than 60 degree, so the value will also be smaller one, which is 1 by root 3. And as 60 degree is greater than 30 degree, so value will be greater than the value of tan 30, which is root 3, greater than 1 by root 3. As we know, root 3 is greater than 1 upon root 3. This is just a basic trick to remember these values. Now for 45 degrees, sine 45 is equal to cos 45, which is 1 by root 2. You have to memorize this table. Now, most important, Pythagorean triplets 3, 4, 5. For example, we have a right angle triangle, and this side is 3, this is 4, the opposite will be 5. So these are known as Pythagoras triplets. So there are some basic Pythagoras triplets that you need to remember, you need to memorize. Second is 5, 12, and 13. So if hypo is 13, so therefore these two sides will be 5 and 12. 7, 24 and 25, third one, and 8, 15 and 17. Most important, 7, 24, 25, 8, 15, 17, 9, 40 and 41. This is also important. These are basic Pythagorean triplets that you need to remember. Now, unit circle. Unit circle is a circle of radius 1. So on the unit circle, all the values of trigonometric ratios can be represented, of sine and cos. So all the values of sine and cos for every theta from 0 to 360 can be represented on a unit circle. Whenever we are drawing a unit circle, the most important thing is x-axis is taken as cosine function, x-axis is taken as cosine function, y-axis is sine function. Therefore, I can write as x equals to cos theta and y equals to sine theta. So in order to create a unit circle, we must use spatial right angles. We must use spatial right angles. These are 30 degree right angle, 60 degree right angle, 90 degree, 45 degree, 45 degree, and 90 degree. This is 30, 60 right angle, and values will be 45, 45, and 90 degree. If the hypo is 1, then we can say, if hypo is 1, then side opposite to 30 degree will be 1. It's not 1. Okay, wait. 30. Okay, so this side opposite to 30 degree will be sine 30, which is 1 by 2. And this will be cos 30, root 3 by 2. And this is 45, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2. So now, how we can use these to sketch a unit circle? So this is unit circle. On the unit circle, this is a 30 degree right angle triangle, and the coordinates of this point, if it is P, let's say this point is P. So coordinates of this point, so this is a right angle triangle, we know. This length on the x-axis is cos 30, and this length on the y-axis is sine 30, and this hypo is 1. Therefore, the coordinates of this point P can be written as cos 30, sine 30 if radius is 1. Similarly, for the second point, we can also make a triangle. This is 45 degree triangle. This length will be cos 45, and this height will be sine 45. So I can write coordinates of this point Q. If this is Q, this is P. So I can write the coordinate of this point as cos 45 and sine 45. These points are cos 45 and sine 45. Similarly, I can write for this one as let's say this is PQR, and I can write coordinates for this as cos 90 and sine 90. For this, cos 180 and sine 180. Cos 270 and sine 270, and so on. And by connecting all these points, I will see it is a circle with radius 1. If I connect all these points, I see it is a circle with radius 1. See, this is cos 30 sine 30, this is cos 45 sine 45, cos 60 sine 60, cos 90 sine 90, and so on. Sign of the trigonometric ratios depends upon the quadrant in which they lies. Now, in the first quadrant, all the trigonometric ratios are positive. In the second quadrant, sine and cosec are positive and rest are negative. In the third quadrant, tan and cot are positive and rest are negative. Fourth quadrant, cos and sec are positive and rest are negative. See, in the second quadrant, as y-axis is positive and x-axis is negative, I can say y-axis is sin x and x-axis is cos x. So in the second quadrant, cos x is negative and sin x is positive. So sin x positive, cos x negative. If sin x positive, cos x negative, therefore tan will also be negative. Tan will also be negative. So And if sine is positive, then reciprocal of sine will also be positive, and cosec is also positive. There is a small trick to remember these ratios, the science of trigonometric ratios, which is all school to college. All school to college. All means first quadrant. First quadrant, all trigonometric ratios are positive. School. School means sine and cosec. Sine and cosec are positive in second quadrant. This is third quadrant, tan and cot. And this is fourth quadrant, cos and sec. Now, graph of sine and cosine. This is graph of sine function. It starts with 0 and ends at 360 degree and again start repeating itself. So we can say period of this graph is 360 degree, or you can say 2 pi. And this is known as amplitude. The distance of the maxima or minima from the principal axis is known as amplitude. This graph of sin x starts with 0. It is again 0 at 180 degree. At 180 degree, it is again 0. It is maxima at 90 degree, you can see. It is maximum at 90 degree and minimum at 270 degree. So it is minimum at 270 degree. So I have broken this period into 4 parts: 0 to 90, 90 to 180, 180 to 270, and 270 to 360, which is 4 quadrants, obviously. Right? Now, main characteristic, first one, the graph has a period of 360 degree. Graph has a period of 360 degree. Next, sin x has a minimum value of -1. Sin x has a minimum value of -1 and a maximum value of 1. And a maximum value of 1. Graph of cos x. This is graph of cos x. Graph of cos x starts with 1 and again ends with 1 at 360 degree. So this is period of cos x, 2 pi, or I can write it as 360 degree. So the period of cos x also, it is 2 pi or 360 degrees. Maximum value for cos x is 1 and minimum value for cos x is also -1. Cos x is 0 at 90 degree and 270 degrees. So main characteristics, the graph has a period of 360 degree and cos x has a minimum value of -1 and a maximum value of 1. The graph is a translation of sine graph by 90 degrees to the left. So if this is sine graph, it's starting with 0. So if I translate this graph on the left hand side to 90 degree, so this is -90 degree, and I start sine graph from -90 degree, I will get a cos graph. So this is a cos graph starting with 0. So if I start my sine graph from -90 degree, I will get a cos graph. Graph of tan x. You can see these vertical dotted lines are known as asymptotes. These are asymptotes. Now, this graph is from -pi/2 to pi/2. This is known as period of the tan function. Period is pi, and tan x can take values from -infinity to infinity, any value from -infinity to infinity. It is 0 at x equals to 0, and that's it. Its period is pi. So for sine and cos, period is pi. For tan and cot, okay, sine and cos period is 2 pi, and tan and cot period is pi. Also for sec and cosec also, sec and cosec period is 2 pi. Main characteristic, the graph has a period of 180 degree. It has no maximum value, no minimum value, and tan x is undefined at -270 degree and -90 degree, 90 degree and 270 degree, and these are known as asymptotes. These are known as asymptotes. Next, consider a unit circle of circle with center O and radius 1 for simplicity. There is a point P at an angle theta. Sin theta can be written as PQ upon OP, and as we know, OP is 1, so sin theta is PQ only, which is y coordinate. Sin theta is y coordinate of P, we have already seen. Cos theta is x coordinate of P, and tan theta is PQ upon OQ, opposite upon adjacent, which is, this tan theta is also known as gradient of OP. This is also known as gradient of OP. In the first quadrant, all were positive. In the second quadrant, you will see, let's say this is theta degrees, and theta is obtuse, which is greater than 90 degree. And see, let phi be an acute angle between our line and the x-axis. Line and the x-axis. It can be taken from the negative x-axis as well as from the positive x-axis. So this is acute angle from the x-axis. In this case, this will be phi. This angle is phi. Right? Now, we know sine theta equals to sine phi. As the magnitude and the sign of these values of sine phi and sine theta are equal, so I can write it as sine theta equals to sine phi. Cos theta equals to minus cos phi, because cos phi is positive, but the x coordinate of cos theta, this x coordinate will be negative as it lies in the second quadrant, and value of cos phi is positive, so I will write cos theta equals to minus of cos phi, because x is negative. Similarly, tan theta will be minus of tan phi as x is negative. So in the second quadrant, sine is negative, sine is positive, cos is negative, and tan is negative. Now what about third quadrant? So this is my theta in the first quadrant. So phi will be, this is phi. Sin theta equals to minus of sin phi. See, sin phi will be positive, but sin theta will be negative as y is negative in the third quadrant. Sin theta will be negative as y is negative, y coordinate is negative in the third quadrant. But sin phi is positive as phi is acute. So I will write sin theta equals to minus of sin phi. Magnitude of both of them is equal. Cos theta equals to minus cos phi. See, x coordinate is negative, but value of cos phi is positive as phi is acute. So I will write cos theta equals to minus of cos phi. Similarly, sin upon cos, if I find, minus minus cancels out and it is tan phi. Tan theta equals to tan phi. So tan theta is positive in third quadrant. So conclusion for third quadrant is sin is negative, cos is negative, and tan is positive. For the fourth quadrant, let's say this is theta for the fourth quadrant, and acute angle for the fourth quadrant is, let for the fourth quadrant, this is phi. So this is phi for the fourth quadrant. Of course, sin phi and cos phi will be positive, tan phi will be positive. Now, what about sin theta and cos theta? As theta lies in the fourth quadrant, obviously cos theta will be positive and sin theta will be negative, as y is negative and x is positive. So sin theta is negative. So I will write minus of sin phi. Minus of sin phi. As cos theta is positive, so I will write cos theta equals to cos phi. Tan theta equals to, see, tan theta is not tan phi, it is minus tan phi, as y is negative. So in the fourth quadrant, cos is positive, sin is negative, and tan is negative. This is all school to college diagram, or you can say CAS diagram again. All positive, sin positive, tan positive, and last cos positive. Now we are sketching sine diagram. Not important. Fine. So now at theta equals to 0 degree, value of sine theta is 0. First point is 0, 0. At 30 degree, it is 1 by 2. At 30 degree, it is 1 by 2. And we will plot values of sine theta on increasing values of theta. Sine 90 is 1. So sine at theta equals to 90, we have value equals to 1. And when theta equals to 180 degree, sine 180 is 0. Sine 270 degree, it is minus 1. And sine 360 degree is again 0. So if I connect all the points, I will get a sine curve. So this is my sine curve. This is not graph of sine y equals to sine x. we can skip this for now. We will plot the same for cos theta. Cos 180 minus 1, cos 90 0, cos 270 0, and cos 360 1, cos 0 1. So on connecting all these points, I have a cos curve. So this is my cos curve function. Tan 0 is 0, tan 90 is infinite, tan 180 is again 0, tan 270 is again infinite, and tan 360 is again 0. So by connecting all these points, I will get a tan curve. So this is my tan curve. Period of it is pi. Period of tan x is pi. Period of sin x and cos x is 2 pi. So for y equals to sin x, it is maximum at 1, minimum at -1, and it crosses x-axis at 0, 180, and 360. Cos curve is also maximum 1 and minimum -1, crosses x-axis at 90 and 270. Next is tan curve. Tan curve is asymptote at 90 degree and 270 degree, and crosses x-axis at 0, 180, and 360. You can see for sin x and cos x, amplitude is 1. Now this is the last topic for today, trigonometric identities. An equation involving trigonometric ratios of an angle theta is said to be trigonometric identity if the LHS of the equation is equal to RHS of the equation for all values of theta. Derivation of trigonometric identities. In this right angle triangle, perpendicular square plus base square equals to hypotenuse square. Therefore, in triangle ABC, we have AB square plus BC square equals to AC square. So on dividing equation number 1 with AC square, I will have AB square upon AC square plus BC square upon AC square equals to AC square upon AC square, which is 1. AB upon AC. AB upon AC. This is opposite upon AC hypo. Opposite upon hypo is sin theta. So therefore it is sin square theta plus BC upon AC. BC is adjacent upon AC is hypo. So adjacent upon hypo is cos theta. So cos square theta. We have first identity sin square theta plus cos square theta equals to 1. Sin square theta plus cos square theta equals to 1. Next. Identity 1 is cos square theta or sin square theta equals to 1. Now, dividing this is, let's say this is identity 1. So on dividing this identity by sin square theta, okay, we know, so for sin square theta plus cos square theta equals to 1. On dividing, let's say this is equation 1. So on dividing equation 1 by sin square theta, I will have cos square theta upon sin square theta, 1 upon sin square theta. Cos upon sin is cot, 1 upon sin is cosec. So this is identity 2. Now similarly, on dividing equation 1 by cos square theta one upon cos square theta. This is 1. Sin upon cos, we know it is 10. 1 upon cos is sec. So this is third identity. 1 plus tan square theta equals to sec square theta. So we have three fundamental identities. One is sin square theta plus cos square theta equals to 1. Second is 1 plus cot square theta equals to cosec square theta. And third is 1 plus tan square theta equals to sec square theta. Now, these are fundamental identities. And now these alternative forms. See, cos square plus sin square equals to 1. So I can write cos square equals to 1 minus sin square, or sin square equals to 1 minus cos square. These are known as alternative form. Cos square equals to 1 minus sin square equals to 1 minus cos square. Similarly, for tan and sec, I can write 1 equals to sec square theta minus tan square theta, which is of the form a square minus b square. Second, I can also write it as tan square theta equals to sec square theta minus 1. Or I can write it as 1 equals to cosec square theta minus cot square theta, or cot square theta equals to cosec square theta minus 1. One plus tan square theta equals to sec square theta. This identity can also be written as, if I take tan square theta on the right hand side, I have sec square theta minus tan square theta. Using a square minus b square, wait, I know sec square theta minus tan square theta equals to 1. So using a square minus b square, I know it is a minus b into a plus b. Therefore, sec theta minus tan theta into sec theta plus tan theta equals to 1. Similarly, again using a square minus b square, cosec minus cot and cosec plus cot equals to 1. So basically these values are reciprocals. So in case these two identities are most important, if cosec theta minus cos theta cot theta equals to m, then cosec theta plus cot theta will be 1 by m. Also, if sec theta plus tan theta is 3 by 2, then sec theta minus tan theta will be 2 by 3. So basically these are reciprocals. I can write sec theta minus tan theta equals to 1 upon sec theta plus tan theta. So sec theta plus tan theta, sec theta minus tan theta, these both are reciprocals. Also this cosec theta minus cos theta equals to 1 upon cosec theta plus cos theta. If cosec theta minus cos theta is m, then cosec plus cot is 1 upon m. Sec plus tan is 3 by 2, then sec minus tan is 2 by 3. Basically, this is identity which is used to, if I have to find value of tan theta, or if I have to find value of sec theta, I will add these two equations. Let's say this is first, this is equation second. So if I have to find value of sec theta, I will add first and second. Tan will be eliminated, and I will have 2 sec theta equals to 3 by 2 plus 2 by 3, and thereon I will find value of sec theta. Now, this is a relation between trigonometric ratios. See, sin theta is sin theta only. Sin theta in terms of cos theta. Sin theta in terms of cos theta can also be written as 1 minus cos square theta. So sin theta is root 1 minus cos square theta. 1 minus cos square theta is sin square theta, and the root of sin square theta is sin theta. Sin theta in term of cosec theta is, obviously it is reciprocal. This is sec square theta minus 1 upon sec theta. Sec square theta minus 1. This is tan square theta. So root of tan square theta is tan theta only, and tan theta upon sec theta, it is sine upon cos divided by 1 upon cos. Cos cancels out, which is finally sine theta. Therefore, tan theta upon sec theta is sine theta only. Tan theta upon root 1 plus tan square theta, this is also sine theta. 1 upon root 1 plus cot square theta, this is also sine theta. Now for cos theta, we have root of 1 minus sine square theta, this is cos theta. Root cosec square theta minus 1 upon cosec theta, this is cos theta, and so on. So these are basic relations between various trigonometric ratios. This is not something that you need to memorize, but you must have a little bit of understanding that we have got these relations using algebraic identities only. So if you have a basic understanding of algebraic identities, like 1 plus tan square theta, this is sec square theta, cosec square theta minus 1, this is cot square theta, cosec square theta minus 1, cot square theta, 1 minus cos square theta, sin square theta, 1 minus cos square theta, sin square theta, 1 plus cot square theta, cosec square theta, 1 plus tan square theta, sec square theta minus 1, tan square theta. So this is relation between trigonometric ratios using identities. So this is not something which you have to memorize. You have to memorize three basic identities: sin square theta plus cos square theta equals to 1, 1 plus tan square theta equals to sec square theta, 1 plus cot square theta equals to cosec square theta, and the alternative forms. And the last one, the reciprocal one, sec theta minus tan theta equals to 1 upon sec theta plus tan theta, and cosec theta minus cos theta equals to 1 upon cosec theta plus cot theta. So the basic introduction to trigonometry is this is the end of the part 1 video, and we will be continuing this series. And in the next lecture, I will be explaining, most probably I will be explaining, we will be solving some questions on trigonometric identities. Then we will go for lead angles. So this is part 1, and in the next video we will solve some questions on identities, these fundamental 3 identities, and then we will go for lead angles. So I hope you understood the basic concept of trigonometry, and stay connected, stay updated. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.